So now let's see how to basically inject the configuration that we have inside of our config maps into our pods. The most common ways that you're going to be doing this is using environment variables and volumes. So with environment variables is as follows. So we have our config map in here. So in here, see that it's config map. It's called nginxconf. And for example, we just have a data called server-name and then foo, right? But you saw that we have a file, a long file, right? Now, what we do is, so as we have the config map in place, then inside of our spec, in the environment or env key, we can pass the name. This is the name of the environment. And then we say value from config map key ref, the name of the config map, and then the key that we want. In our case, you can see that all of these values match or map to the config map, and then it's accessible in our pod. Now, one drawback of config maps and environment variables is that changes made to the config map will not be reflected on the container. But still, there are times that you don't care about this and it's fine to use it. So let me go ahead and show you how this works. So in here in my config maps.yaml, what we're going to do is, so after this configuration right here, nginxconf, let's together create a deployment. So here, 3 dashes, deployment, and we're going to call this as config and then dash and then map. Then leave everything as is. And then for the image in here, so the container name, say, let's use busybox. So busy box in here. And then, well, actually, my bad. So this has to be that. And then here, or in fact, let's just say here, for example, config map and then env, because we're going to use volumes as well. So the image is going to be busybox. So we'll have a second image and then no ports in here. So we don't need this. And now we have to say env here. And inside we specify the environment variable name. So here, let's go and basically take the app name, app version, and team. So to do that, I'm going to say app underscore and then version. So this is naming convention for environment variables. And then indent this, control space. And here, instead of saying value, you say value from, control space. Have a look, config map key ref. Let's select that. Then the key is, so let's just go here for a second. So the key, app dash name, app dash version, and team. And the name is app properties or app dash properties. So here, let's just define the name first. So name, that's the name. And then the key is app dash, and you can see that I get auto completion, and it's called app and then version. So this is one environment variable that comes from config maps. Let's take this as well, Command C, and I made a mistake there. So just like that, paste that, and this should be like this. And then here we're going to name this as app and then name. There we go. This comes from app properties, and then this is app dash and then name. So if I scroll up, so I just want you to see. So again, once more, app dash properties, app dash name, and app dash version in here. And then we need team as well. So let's just take team. So let's just duplicate all of this and then paste it, and then paste it here. And then this will be team in here. So team, oops. And then this will be capital and then team, just like that. And there you have it. So now we have 3 environment variables that are coming from config maps in here. So now what I'm going to do is the following. Let's just say in here command, And then the command that I want to execute is /bin/sh. And then here, I'm going to say -c. And then I want to execute nth in here. So we could also write this as follows. So we could say args, or in here, so args, just like that, and then say nth, for example, right? And in fact, let's just use the args in here, and I'm going to delete that. And then here, I'm going to say and then remember, we need to sleep. So we don't want this to basically die immediately. So sleep, and then 3600, and basically it's going to run this command, and then it's going to sleep in here. So now I'm going to save this, and let me open up my terminal, and in here, kubectl apply-f config maps, and have a look. We have deployment apps and then created, kubectl get pods, and in here we have config map, and it's running. Now let's just take this pod name and then type kubectl and then logs, and then paste the pod name, and then you can say -c for container, and the container name is this guy here, or you can leave it because, or you can remove this because we only have one container, but it's fine. Enter and have a look. So here, check this out. So we have a bunch of environment variables, but the one I'm interested is app version in here, the one we've set, app name in here, and then the other one was team. So here, engineering. So this is awesome. So it's coming from, basically we're pulling all of that from here. So this is nice. So if you want to pull from this guy right here as well, nginx-conf, and then default.conf, and in fact, let's just change this to nginx and then conf, right? So we're going to take this guy. So let's just do it as well. So here, I'm going to take all of this, and you can see that it's mainly copying and pasting and then changing a couple of things. So here, I'm going to say nginx and then _conf. And this comes from, so this is different now. So this comes from n. So basically the name is this one. Let me show you. So this one. So here, and then the key is nginx.conf. Save this. And then here, I'm going to clear the screen and then apply. There we go. And now we should have a second pod in here. So the new one, age 4 seconds. And basically, let's just run the exact same command, but with this guy here. And there we go. Let me just clear the screen, run this, and have a look. So this is awesome. So you can see that we have an environment variable called nginx-conf equals, and then the configuration file in here. So this is pretty much how you use config maps and pulling their values from within environment variables. Next, let's go ahead and learn how to use config maps and volumes. And as always, you can find all of this under the description of this video. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Otherwise, catch me in the next one.